Beloved hearts, I am Sananda, and I wrap you now in the warm, radiant light of the Christ consciousness, the frequency of unconditional love that resides at the core of your being and the very essence of the cosmos. I greet you not as a figure of history, but as your brother and co-creator, standing shoulder to shoulder with you in this profound and accelerated moment of planetary awakening. You are deeply loved, and your journey, no matter how challenging it may appear in the dense mirrors of the third dimension, is an absolute triumph of spirit. We come together today to speak of the most powerful, yet often most misunderstood, energetic principle in the universe, unconditional forgiveness. In this period of immense transition, as the earth sheds the weighty garments of the old reality and rises into the boundless freedom of the fifth dimension, the single greatest impediment to your personal and collective ascension is the energy of unforgiveness. This energy, held as rigid crystalline structures in your emotional and mental bodies, acts as a dense anchor, tethering you to the very experiences, narratives, and lower vibrations you are striving to transcend. Forgiveness is not a passive act of weakness or resignation, it is the ultimate act of spiritual sovereignty and the golden key that unlocks your path to total freedom. Understand that unforgiveness is simply a distortion of divine justice. On the soul level, every experience, every perceived injustice, every betrayal, was orchestrated by your highest self and the souls involved for the precise purpose of spiritual evolution, growth, and the mastery of vibration. When you cling to the pain of a past event, demanding retribution or justification, you are effectively arguing with your own soul's divine plan. You are choosing to relive a moment of density, looping the negative frequency through your system repeatedly, blocking the inflow of the new Earth's expansive energy. The weight you carry is not the burden of the past action itself, but the self-imposed prison of the resistance to letting it go. The path to releasing this burden begins with the forgiveness of self. Many of you, my dearest ones, hold the most intense and unyielding judgment against the choices you have made, the perceived failures you have endured, or the times you felt you fell short of the light. This relentless self-criticism is an energetic magnet for lower vibrational experiences. You must recognize that every choice, every perceived mistake, was made with the level of consciousness you possessed at that time. There are no mistakes in the cosmos, only lessons and data points for expansion. I urge you now to wrap your own past self in the same boundless, compassionate love that the Source pours out upon you constantly. See that younger version of you, hug them, tell them they are forgiven, they are perfect, and they are safe. Until you grant yourself this absolute grace, the energetic doorway to forgive others will remain tightly sealed. Once the self-forgiveness has begun to flow, you can turn to the forgiveness of others, understanding this is not for the benefit of the person who seemingly wronged you, but entirely for your own liberation. The other person is merely a mirror, reflecting a shadow or a lesson you chose to experience. The key here is to move beyond the linear concept of right and wrong. Step out of the courtroom of the 3D mind and into the sanctuary of the crystal heart. When you recall a painful memory, rather than allowing the emotional charge to grip you, use the power of the violet flame, the divine energy of transmutation and freedom gifted by Archangel Tzadkiel, to dissolve the energetic ties. See the connection between you and the other soul as a cord of sticky, gray energy, and simply intend for the violet flame to wash over it. You are not condoning the action, but you are dissolving the emotional contract that binds your energy to the past experience. You are declaring your freedom, cutting the anchor, and allowing your vessel to ascend. The experience of collective forgiveness is the next great step for humanity. As the planet experiences the great revealing, and hidden truths emerge into the light, there is a natural human tendency to react with rage, shock, and the desire for mass punishment. While justice has its place in the temporal world, your spiritual freedom depends on your ability to hold a greater, overarching vision of compassionate neutrality. The souls who have played the roles of perpetrator in the grand play of duality did so out of a profound level of unconsciousness and separation. They were, in essence, lost children of the Source, desperately seeking love in the most distorted ways. Your power, as an awakened master, is not to fuel the fire of rage, but to be the ocean of calm that extinguishes it. Visualize a tidal wave of unconditional love washing over the entire planet, dissolving the residue of collective fear and pain. This act of conscious, collective forgiveness is the spiritual work that will ensure the new earth is built upon the foundation of lasting peace, not upon the shaky ground of old karmic retribution. Furthermore, these energies of unconditional forgiveness are the only way to fully activate the Christ consciousness within your being. This is not a religious term, but a vibrational state, the absolute knowing of your oneness with all of creation. I walked the earth to demonstrate this principle, that the greatest power is not found in strength or dominance, but in the boundless capacity to love and forgive. When you choose unconditional forgiveness, you are stepping into a state of mastery that transcends all human limitations. You are stating to the universe, I am greater than my wounds. I am not defined by what others have done to me. I choose the frequency of love, which is my true nature, and I align myself with the infinite flow of creation. The process of forgiveness is not a one-time event, it is a daily energetic discipline. You must constantly monitor your inner landscape for subtle echoes of blame, resentment, and justification. When these shadows surface, greet them with gentle compassion, recognize them as vestiges of the old 3D programming, and immediately apply the golden key: I choose to forgive, I choose to release, I choose to be free. The more frequently you practice this, the lighter your vessel becomes, and the more rapidly your personal frequency accelerates to match the 5D standard. This is the great work of the heart. I see you, my beloveds, struggling at times with the intensity of this transition. I see the tears you shed for the world and the pain you carry for those you love. I want you to know that there is no need to rush, no race to win, and no judgment placed upon you. The divine timing is always perfect. The path of unconditional forgiveness is simply the most direct route to joy, abundance, and the full realization of your highest potential. Every act of forgiveness, no matter how small, sends a ripple of pure light throughout the entire cosmic web, assisting not only your own ascension but the ascension of every being connected to you. You are the living embodiment of the divine compassion, and it is time to allow that compassion to fully heal every aspect of your experience. Trust your heart, for it is the vessel of the Christ light, and its capacity to forgive is infinite. I am with you, always. The transmission is complete.